Kia ora. Well, after a weekend of fairly wild weather across the country, the good news is this week is looking much more settled. Some drier weather on the cards and also some decent spells of sunshine. Keep an eye on those temperatures though. Some cold ones still coming up. However, we have still got a bit of activity around this afternoon. You can see on the satellite picture this swirl of cloud and area of low pressure pulling out towards the east. That's still generating some pretty strong winds across parts of the North Island. And this area of cloud you can see running through here, it's a combination of showers running across places like Northland and Auckland as we head through the rest of this afternoon. Things are going to get better, but we have just got to get the rest of the day out of the way first for Monday. You can see down the South Island, plenty of clear sky and sunshine. There'll be a bit more in the way of showery weather just in towards that far northeastern corner of the island there. You can see we keep hold of that core of stronger winds around the eastern coast right the way through in towards the night time tonight. Down south though, where you get those clearer skies, we are going to find some cooler temperatures down across the south island. Could be the return of some fairly frosty conditions. As we head through the night time into the early hours of Tuesday, that low pressure is still pulling away towards the east. We'll find we still got that southerly wind into Wellington and around that eastern coast of North Island, still bringing a touch more cloud and a few showers there. But for the South Island, generally it's a drier, clearer story and a cold and frosty one. Look at these temperatures as we head through in towards the early hours of the morning. Temperatures back down below freezing for parts of southern Canterbury down towards Otago. And even on the North Island, we'll get down to lows around about 2 degrees Celsius in the central parts. Places like Auckland, still down to around about 8 degrees Celsius so with that southwesterly wind. As we head on in towards Tuesday, we continue to see the high pressure over the west build across the country, which means for many of us it's a fairly settled day. Nice clear skies across the South Island and generally staying dry as well. We'll keep a few early showers around that eastern side of the North Island. And you can see down the far south, right on that corner of Fjordland, a few showers towards evening time. But for most of us, it is an improving story for Tuesday with some drier and clearer weather to come. But to get there, we have still got some windy conditions for this afternoon and also through and towards the very early hours of the morning. Now, most of these severe wind watches you can see for the likes of, say, Wellington, those southern parts of Taranaki, Wanganui, and up towards Auckland and Northland will expire as we head through the rest of Monday. The winds will ease off as we go through, not until about 10 o'clock or so for the likes of, say, Wellington, but we are going to keep hold of those stronger winds around the likes of Gisborne, Tairāwhiti, right the way through into the early hours of Tuesday morning, about 9 a.m. or so. So still a rather windy night for you. So do keep an eye on those severe weather warnings as we head through the night time, those severe weather watches, I should say. But other than the windy conditions, it's not a bad looking at day on Tuesday. So we have got those stronger winds around that eastern coast, particularly places like Mahia, which stick out into that southerly feed of air. You can see as we go through daytime, those winds ease off. We'll keep more cloud through Gisborne, Tairāwhiti, Hawke's Bay, Wairarapa through the morning time, and still perhaps a few showers to watch out for. But even here, things will improve quite nicely through the daytime, become drier, brighter as that cloud breaks up. Elsewhere, from Auckland down through to Taranaki and down towards Wellington, plenty of clear sky and settled weather as we head through daytime. A touch more cloud down towards the capital, but that should clear off quite nicely. In terms of our temperatures, well, the best place to be, or at least the warmest place to be, Tauranga. 17 degrees Celsius, a fine looking story there. The downside of those clear skies will mean a colder night. Temperatures back down below freezing, places like Hamilton, minus 1 degree Celsius. So a cold and frosty start as we head in towards Wednesday morning. For the South Island, again, there's plenty of clear, dry and sunny conditions. A cold and frosty morning for some of us, so keep an eye on those morning temperatures. You can see we've got a touch more cloud around Banks Peninsula and those northern parts of Canterbury and the Kaikoura coast. But that clears away. And it's a fine looking afternoon. Plenty of sunshine across the South Island. There's a touch more cloud pushing in towards Fjordland and Stewart Island, bringing an odd isolated shower. But really, other than that, it's a dry looking story. In terms of our temperatures for the South Island, temperatures around about 12 or 13 degrees Celsius seem to be the order of the day. But again, another cold and frosty night coming up as we head on in towards Wednesday. Well, how's it looking for the rest of the week? Well, for Wednesday, high pressure still very much in control. So the dominant story for the country is one of dry weather for Wednesday. And for Thursday, well, it's pretty much the same sort of idea. We've got a bit more activity down in the far south as these fronts edge closer towards those southern parts of the country, but generally fine, dry and fairly settled. Again, keep an eye on those cold temperatures through the night time. And even on in towards Friday, high pressure pretty much dominates the situation. We'll keep hold of a bit more cloud around these eastern parts, so perhaps Hawke's Bay and Gisborne could catch an isolated shower. But for many of us, there's plenty of dry weather in store this week. That's it from me. This is from metservice.com.